Welcome back to CF Podcast, guys. Kaya over here, and we've got Orin, Julie.
Hi.
How's
Hello.
it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good. I'm even better now that we were here and doing this podcast together. So obviously I've known you for a while. I've seen you, but when I first saw you, I was like, wait a minute, what? Because Taryn Butler introduced me at Gundy's, introduced you to me at Gundy's. I was like, wait a minute, I know her from somewhere. And then that was it. You're Orin and Julie, and we started talking, and you've got great energy, awesome, and obviously an incredible story. And I'm really excited to hear about that, and I'm sure folks who are watching, they are too. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself and how your upbringing has been. I know because you're from Israel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So first of all, thank you for having me.
Of
I'm
course.
happy to be here, and it's awesome to meet you. A little bit about myself. My name is Orin. It should be with 2 E, but I put it with I, so all the Americans call me Orin, so it's fine, but it's Orin. I'm from Israel. I'm almost 30. I do reserve duty as a search and rescue commander. And times are really hard in Israel. Yeah. And I'll say it in advance. I'm sorry if I confuse my English and my accent is very
Your
hard.
English is great.
Just letting our viewers know that I'm sorry if I mistake.
I've watched you on Fox News, and you've been on some national news channels talking, because you're an IDF, as you said, and of course the most recent horrible things that's going on over there. And I've seen you, and your English is perfect.
I appreciate it.
Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
So I finished my mandatory service almost 10 years ago. Right? Yeah, 10 years ago. Oh my God, I'm old. Almost 10 years ago, I served in the search and rescue unit. I was on the front squad of the battalion commander, and it was an amazing experience for me to be in the army. In Israel, it's mandatory to serve, so you have to serve. Okay. But I decided to be a combat soldier. It's not like you have to. I wanted to be a combat soldier. It was really hard to do, but it was an amazing experience for me that really developed me, because I came from abusive home and I didn't know any better. And I feel like the army really changed me and opened me to the other extreme. I was a very shy and closed. Introvert. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the army just really opened things for me. And I served for 3 years and 2 months. And ever since then, I just do a lot of reserve duty, and I do advocacy for Israel. And I also encourage young boys and girls in Israel to go to combat roles. And this is one of the greatest things I do.
So you, mandatory service, what age does it start?
It starts at 18, and now I think they changed it to be 2 years and a half, but I did it for 3 years and 2 months. Yeah.
So at 18, you graduate high school.
Yeah.
Then before you go to college, you go to the military.
So the crazy thing is that Americans ask me what did you study in the college, and I was like, we go to college after the army. For us, it's obvious that we go to college after the army. Yeah. But I didn't go to college. I've done different things, and I'm really happy about it. To be honest, I do mental health activity in Israel, and this is the best thing I've ever done in my entire life, and it comes from my own story. I discovered this amazing thing of self-improvement through my story. So I don't feel like I need to go to college and get a degree. I make a lot of money, obviously, and I do what I feel like I need to do. So this is great.
I mean, that's the whole thing. The college is obviously important, but is it one of those things oh my God, you have to have college to accomplish certain things in life? Absolutely not. We've got some very, very successful people who have sometimes no education whatsoever, or just high school, right? So clearly you're doing very good for yourself, and you just went to the military route. So I want to go back to the mandatory service. So 2.5 years, you got to serve, and then you get out and do your thing. What's combat service? So after 2.5 years, you're like, hey, I want to stay? Is that how it works?
You can stay in different roles, but it's not common. Most of us just want to finish the army. It's not a job for us. It's mandatory. So we have to do it, and most of the people just want to finish with it. So after 2 years and 2 years and a half, you want to be a citizen so bad.
You just want to get back out there and be a civilian, right?
Yeah.
So do people How are they? Like, do people really want to go to the military after 18 because it's mandatory, or are they trying to avoid it? How is the...
There is a small minority of people that don't want to go to the army, but most of us really understand our goal and what we fight for. So I believe most of us really want to go to serve. Not everyone do like combat roles. They do desk role jobs or things like this, but now after October 7th, I feel like it even became more important.
Exactly, and I'll definitely get there because that's very, very important. And so you said, and I want to kind of take this a little bit back and then get back to this area. You said you had a very abusive upbringing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to start like with the biggest lie that I thought was the pure truth, and the moment I understood that something was wrong. In 2019, I was on the Survival Finals show in Israel. I was in the
Survival
show.
Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was on the finals. And back then, I thought that when I'll be famous and I'll have money, I'll be happy and I'll be in peace. And during this show, the finals, the makeup artist did my makeup and photographers just took many pictures of me. And everyone was like, Orin, can I get a picture of you? And something really weird happened. I felt like I want to die. I didn't understand how is it possible that I want to die if I'm famous and I have money and people want to be around me. Why am I still miserable? And this was back then one of the saddest moments I've ever had, because I thought that there's no point to life. Like, romantic relationship didn't work for me. Every romantic relationship I've been in was violent, and fame didn't work, money didn't work, and I didn't understand where in the world I can find peace. I never looked inside myself. And back then, it was like the period of time that I really gave up on everything. I was like, fuck it, fuck everything. I don't like to be with men, I don't like to be famous, I don't like anything anymore, I just don't understand this life. And I feel like the moment I gave up, God was like, now it's your turn. And then I met my husband. And when he got into my life, I was really suspicious. What does he want? Why he wants to be with me? He's out of my league. And as beautiful and sweet that I am, I thought I hated myself. I had a really low self-value. So I didn't understand what he wants from me. He's like good-looking guy. He's super nice and smart. Why does he want to be with me? And when we started dating back then, it was hard. You know, we always hear about the stories like the prince came and we were in love and everything just worked out. It was really, really hard because I'm a PTSD. And I didn't realize that I have something that is wrong. And I was very manipulative, and I was a liar, basically. And then after 2 months of dating, when he was so in love and I was so in love with him, he took my phone and he saw that I was talking to another man. And he was like, why would you do it? It was weird because it was the first time ever someone asked me, why do I lie? And I looked inside his eyes and I was like, I don't know. I thought that this is how relationships should go, no? And he was like, no, Orin, I love you and you love me. Why would you do it? And then I started thinking and I didn't have an answer. And then I told him, listen, I don't know what I'm doing here right now, but I swear to you that no matter what, I'll tell you the truth. All the truth. No matter how afraid I'll be, I love you and I want to give a chance to this relationship. Forgive me this time and let's try to move on from it. Now, the thing was that the truth was a very scary thing for a girl that grew up in hiding and lying. And back then, during this time that I was with him, I had I was pulling my hair aggressively all the time, like pulling my hair. And I felt like I'm just broken or stupid, so I cannot control my hands. But I was really miserable, and I didn't understand why I cannot control my hands. So I went to the best source ever, to Google. I just wrote, why am I pulling my hair aggressively, uncontrolled? And then I found out it has a name. It's called trichotillomania. And on the website, it said that if you keep a secret inside of you and you don't tell it to the world, the body needs somehow to take it out. And then it gives you like this behavior, obsessive behaviors. And I was like, oh shit, I am not going to tell anyone this secret. Never. I just need to live with it. And now I'm going to tell you and our viewers my secret. Yeah.
What is it?
I grew up in Ramat Gan in Israel. And to what looked to outsiders as a beautiful family. Well-being, you know, like a good home, good parents. But no one knew that I was sexually abused over the nights. My father was abusing me. And I didn't realize something bad happened. It started at the age of 7. And I you know, it's my father. And I didn't realize.
Your biological father
my biological
was sexually
father.
abusing you?
Yeah. And I didn't realize that it was something bad because I was very little. And he said that every father do it to his daughter. And I believed him. And he was religious. And he said that God loves him. And I was very pissed with God. I didn't believe God was real because how come this happens every night and nobody does anything and my family knows. But then when I got to the age of 10, I went to the hospital. And then the social worker sat down with me and told me, sweetie, the thing that you have right now is only if someone else is touching you. Who is touching you? And I was a very stubborn little girl. And I said, no one. I did it to myself. And she said, no way. If this happened to you, someone should have touched you. And I insisted, and I said, no, I did it to myself. I went out of the room, and I felt like a hero.
Were you scared?
No, I felt like a hero. I felt like I protected my family. I felt like I've protected my father. And the social worker didn't know that I went through a hard conversation before getting into this room. And my father told me, if you will say that it was me, I'll go to jail. Your whole family will be broken. You will be in the street. So you better shut up. And I thought, I have to protect my family.
So you have to lie to protect your family.
Mm-hmm. And then, a few days later, when I was in the hospital, I thought to myself, if this social worker said that only if someone else should touch me, how come she lets a 10-year-old girl lie to her and she does nothing? And then I came to a realization that no one can help me. If social workers don't do anything, the teachers didn't do anything, probably no one can help me. And then it kept going till the age of almost 17. And I was already grown. But what people don't understand is like you train a dog. You don't understand that I didn't know any better. And this, like, people ask me, you were 17, why didn't you run away? I have no good answer for it.
So how was he doing that? Was he always doing it alone, your mother, or did you have siblings?
No,
around?
I have 2 siblings, and I'm not talking about my family, like my mother or my siblings, because I have respect for them.
Yeah.
I'm not in touch with my siblings. I'm going to therapy with my mom, and she does an amazing work. My father passed away 10 years ago almost, and I forgave him, and we will get to it, I promise to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
God.
He did it obviously when we were alone, but it wasn't like this is something that really important for me to like to explain. It wasn't like sex. It was sexual harassment. And then
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I know it's really hard for I think all the people to hear it because it's about father and daughter, and it's really hard to like, you know, if you're a father, you want to protect your daughter from your whole world. So how come fathers do it? But fathers do it, and I decided that I will put myself out there with my face and with my voice to avoid others from going through it, to avoid other children to go through it. Mm-hmm. And then I just, you know, life went by, and I didn't understand that something is wrong. I just wanted to like be out of my home, but I went to friends, I went to sleep at friends, but it was really. People need to understand that in order for this sexual abuse to happen, there should have been many manipulations. And when your father manipulates you as a little kid, you believe him because he's your father. And people just don't understand the manipulations I went through, the mental manipulations I went through. He said to me that he's doing it in my own favor, and he doesn't want me to be excited for men when I grow up, or that God told him to do it, and this is why I had such a hard time with God. And then, I was just a very introvert kid and very scared of everything. I didn't drive the bus. I was really, really miserable. During the day, I had to put a mask on and to show outside that everything was great, and I was miserable on the inside. And then I got to the army. And when I got to the army, I got to a desk role job at first in the military court. But we go through basic training. So in basic training, it doesn't matter if you are a fighter or you are in a front desk. Front desk? How do you? No.
Yeah.
Desk role job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. So you shoot firearms. And the moment I shot a firearm, I felt like, what the fuck is this? Because in Israel, we don't have culture for firearms or nobody's interested almost in firearms. I know it's weird, but and only when we get to the military, we see firearm for the first time. So I just fell in love, and I said to myself, I am going to be a fighter my entire life. And I didn't realize back then why I love firearms so much. But now I do.
Yeah.
Now I understand that the people that should have protected me from this whole world hurt me. So my brain just looked for the most effective tool to defend myself. And I had unexplainable attraction for firearms. So then I started trying to move to a combat role, but I have a low medical profile. And I really wanted to prove the army that I can be a combat soldier. So for 1 year, I fought the system. And during this year, my father passed away. Now, the army and no one else knew, no one ever knew what I was going through. And the thing that people don't understand is that I had two realities. One reality, I had a great dad. He was awesome. During the day, he took care of me. He was providing. He was awesome dad. During the night, he was my devil. And this is really hard and confusing reality to grow up in. Because I thought to myself, wait, I should love my dad or I should hate him? And the world says to me that my dad is a great guy because everybody on the outside loves him. But then I see that if he does this to me, I need to hate him. So I'm really confused. And then on the good days, even I was fine. We was okay, during the day. And in the hard days, I was going crazy and throwing things at home, and I was yelling at him. And it was really hard to live this way because it was all like a roller coaster all day. And he passed away when I was 19 from cancer. How surprising. And he said to me that when you are in pain, it's God that punishes you to clean you from your sins. And once he was in a really bad pain from the cancer he had, and he was crying on the couch and asking God, why is it happening to me? And I was standing in front of him and whispering, you said that God cleans us from our sins if we're in pain. And he was like, how can you talk to your father this way? And I didn't realize back then that he had a few personalities. Yeah.
How was his relationship with your mother?
She is a victim herself. Yeah. I loved her, and I still do. More than anything in this world. Because I was trained to be a therapy dog, for real. Every time I saw my mother cry, I was like, no, don't cry. Wait, what can I do? What can I do for you? I couldn't deal with emotions because this is how I was taught. And then...
Going back to the army, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I managed to raise my medical profile and prove them that I don't have asthma. I had asthma from the age of 7 until the age of 17. How surprising. And then I proved to them that I don't have asthma anymore and I want to be a combat soldier. So they said, no, now that your father passed away, you won't be mentally okay in a combat role. And I said to them, listen, I'm going to be okay. Trust me, give me a chance. I just want to be a combat soldier. So after 1 year, I managed to move to the search and rescue unit, and it was like a dream come true for me. I felt like I can be the best commander in the military, and I had so many dreams about the military, but I didn't realize how hard it's going to be. During this time, I had to deal with the fact that I'm keeping this secret. My father passed away, and I'm confused. Should I hate him or should I love him? My boyfriend of 3 years dumped me because I wanted to be a combat soldier. And the training was really, really hard for, I was a spoiled girl. I didn't, never experienced anything like this in my life. And it was really hard, but my commanders wanted me to be a commander. And I was like, what do they see in me? Why do they want me to be a commander? I'm so bad at everything that I do. So I finished my training, my basic training, and then my search and rescue training, and I was great. Now I can say that I was great. Back then I thought that I was awful. And then I went to a commander course, and they wanted me to be like in the... how do I say it in English? Military terms in English are hard. So they wanted me to be a big commander. This is the thing.
Leadership training.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did everything in my power to fail, because I didn't believe what they saw. I was like, what are they seeing in me? I'm lazy and I'm bad and I'm awful at everything. Why would they want me to be a commander? They want to put responsibility on my shoulders. I can't handle it. And then I didn't finish. I almost finished my commander course, but I failed. I wanted to fail. And it was really hard for me because on the one hand, I really wanted to be a commander. On the second hand, I didn't believe in myself. And I thought that I tricked them. I had an imposter syndrome. I thought that I tricked them into thinking that I was good. And back then I went to rest role, for 2 months and just to heal myself. And then they told me, do you want to go back to your desk role job? And I was like, no. I want to be a combat soldier. And then I wanted to understand where there were no women before. I wanted to be there.
There were no combat
soldiers? There were, but I was looking for the role inside the combat unit. Yeah,
a role where is dominated by men, and you want to be that first woman.
Mm-hmm. And then in the front squad of the battalion commander, there was never a woman. And I went to him, and I went with my nails and my hair and makeup, and I told him, listen, I want to be in your front squad. And he said, no, I need men in my front squad. We are getting inside Arab villages. We do things, and I need men. I need lions in my front squad. And I have a lot of chutzpah. You know what chutzpah is?
No.
It's like, I am very rude. So I told him, he's like a very high commander in the military, and told him, listen, I can take you on my back and run all over the street if you want. And he was like, you are so rude, get out of here. And I was like, okay. And back then I didn't know how to get a no as an answer. Yeah. So I went back every day for a month to his office, and I told him, give me a chance, only one chance, and I'll prove to you. After 1 month, he was like, you know what? I give you a chance, only 1 month. And we'll see how it will be. I stayed there for the rest of my service for 8 or 9 months. And it was the best experience I've ever had in my all army experience.
What did you do there?
So we went inside Arab villages and we did everything to protect the Jewish people, and we arrested people, and we've been in crazy places that I could never imagine that I'll be. And during this time, I was a very pretty girl, and I was thinner than now. So I just started posting.
You look great now, come on.
Thank you. And I just started posting on social media, and it was 2014, and there were no a lot of people that use Instagram. And I started posting with my military uniforms and firearms, and then Americans started oh my God, there are beautiful girls in the IDF. And then I just started building my career in the firearms industry, and I didn't realize. I finished my mandatory service after 3 years.
When you were in there, in that unit, you were the only female.
Yeah.
How was that? If you can quickly touch base on
that.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was challenging. And I think that the most challenging thing is not that the job is hard. It's the opinion of men was really hard for me. Today I don't care, but back then I was really young, and I really wanted to people to love me and to see me as I am. And back then, you know, I had my nails, my hair. I was like too pretty to be a combat soldier. And all the other commanders were like, do you take this girl to be in your front squad? Are you crazy? And he said, like, the minute that Orin needs to go on a terrorist, it doesn't matter if her nails are long or she has a makeup. She's an amazing soldier and she does amazing job. And he really stood up for me, and I still thank him for this, because he gave me a place to like bring myself.
Yeah.
And I was a great soldier. I was a really good soldier back then. I did everything, and I was really brave, and we got inside crazy places that women won't like. I think even men wouldn't like to go. It's crazy. It's fucking. It was some of the times it was really scary, but you had to do it. So I did it. We get it. For example, I give you one experience from them from there.
Yeah, give us a story.
Sorry, my English is confusing.
Yeah.
We went into like a synagogue, but for Muslims. How do you call it?
Mosque.
Mosque, yes. Yeah. We went inside a mosque because we needed to arrest someone who did some terror attack or something like this. And it was just the front squad. And it's like about 4 people. I was the communication soldier, and there will be like the driver and another one. And we need to take someone from the mosque. So we went there, and all the while we're driving, and we're driving the armored car, and I was with a plate carrier and everything on me, and I thought to myself, how in hell am I going to get down from the car and arrest someone who did a terror attack on Israelis, while I know that there are like 50 people inside and they don't like us. And then I was really scared in the car. I was hugging my firearm, and I was like, how will I do it? I was really afraid that I will freeze. Once we get there, I jump out of the car and like this.
Flip the switch. Soldier mode.
Exactly. There were like 50 people coming out of the mosque trying to, resist and to not let us take him. And I'm like so small. I'm like, move, I didn't want them to get close to our commander, because this is like the thing that we need to do. And we took this terrorists and we drove back. And this terrorist is sitting next to me like,
handcuffed.
Handcuffed, thank you. And I'm looking at him and I'm looking at myself, and I was like, did I do it? It was weird, but it builds like
self-confidence.
Yes, it really built self-confidence for me, and I felt like, okay, if I can do this, I can do anything I want in the world. I'm really brave. So we had like a few successful occasions like this, and I gotta tell you that the army changed me in my political views, because before the army, I thought that they are monsters. They are the devil. They are inhumane. And when you are a soldier and you go inside, you see human beings.
Yeah.
And this was a life-changing experience for me, because then I understood that governments trying to dehumanize us and to separate us. Yeah. And I saw mothers crying over their sons that did like crazy stupid things for the government, for the Hamas or whatever it is. And it was so sad for me. And then I started believing that they are humans. Some of them are humans. I believe that there are like cold-hearted terrorists, and it's everywhere. People are like
evil exists.
Evil exists, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. My English is like running out.
You're great. I mean, I love hearing your story. Yeah.
Thank you. I believe there is evil, but I saw human beings, and it really changed a lot for me. And once I finished my mandatory service, I was lost, because I thought that I am going to be in the army for the rest of my life, and I was going through like something to study. I wanted to study something. I wanted to go and do a degree in something. And nothing was interesting for me. And I felt like, how come? Like, there are people who are lawyers or they have a shop or whatever. How come nothing is interesting for me? And the only times I felt like I'm happy and alive was at the range when I was shooting
Playing
firearms.
with guns.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I was miserable because I didn't realize how I can make it like my career. And it's not like very normal in Israel to do it. So I just started posting to Instagram. Gun companies started like to talk to me, and I was like, this is weird. Do you want me to promote your firearm? Okay, sounds good. Sounds fun. And then I just started like working with gun companies, but
in the United States or in Israel?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Americans really loved me.
So, of course.
Yeah, so I went to America a lot of times.
So you started posting on Instagram English initially or Hebrew?
So I started in Hebrew.
Okay.
And then like Americans like started like DMing me, and I wasn't good in English at all. I didn't have English at all. And the crazy thing is that my English came from the fact that I had to like film things in English, and I repeated it like over and over and over again. Then I studied English this way, thanks Instagram.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Hearing your story, so you've been telling me your story, which is amazing. You communicate very clearly.
Yay!
For a person who just learned English recently, let's just say,
Thank
your
you.
English is great.
I appreciate it. So then I finished my mandatory service, and I just started like shooting all over. I went to study DBA, horse riding, fitness instructors, range instructors, whatever you want. Because I was looking for a place to feel I'm in peace, but I couldn't find it. And then I got famous in Israel as well. They started asking me like, what do you do? The news started asking me, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a gun model, and this is such a horrible name.
Was this before Survivor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got famous before Survivor, and for being a gun model, this is such a horrible name.
Well, it's because it's such a male-dominated area, right? Field. So when a female does it, especially a pretty girl like you, and you do it well too, right?
Yeah.
All that gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, it gets a lot of attention, and I was the first to do it in Israel, so it gets a lot of attention. But the thing was that I really wanted the world to see that I'm professional, that I take courses, that I go to shoot with Terran Battler, that I go to shoot with world champions, that I do like IPSC shooting, and like the world refused to see it because I was dressing very provocatively. And then like some of the like people in Israel blamed me that I sell firearms with my body, and I was so miserable because I really wanted people to see how good I am. And this was really hard. And then I just lived my life. And during this period of time, life was really tough for me because romantic relationship didn't work. I was only in violent relationships. I was only in violent relationships. The small mistakes. And I didn't find anything that I loved to do except of shooting guns. And I had like I made a lot of money, but I didn't know how to keep it. So I was like, I had to provide also for my home, for my mom, for my siblings. It was crazy. I'm like the youngest sister, and
you're like the big sister.
Yeah. I needed to provide for my whole family. And life was really tough because I felt like I want the world to see how good I am, but I always fight with people. I have enemies, and I didn't want it. I just wanted them to see how good I am. And this was the problem. And then on the survival finals, I understood that nothing is going to help me, and I'm like helpless. And then going back to my boyfriend that he's now my husband. So I found out I had this trichotillomania thing. And I read. I read on the internet that if you talk about your secret, you will heal. This is what I understood very superficially. And then I said, okay, I'm pretty famous in Israel. I can go and talk about it in the news. And it's a big step to go to talk about it in the news.
Especially something so intrusive.
Filled with shame and guilt. But I went to the news, And because I was really famous, they were like the big secret of Queen of Guns. This is how they called the article. And I didn't say it was my father. I just said I was abused.
Okay.
I was. I didn't say like who it was or what. Very superficially. And then I got like tons of messages from people saying, "Oh my God, I was too. I was abused too. Me too. Me too. Me too." And then I was looking on the messages, and I remember thinking, "Wow. Can I help others if I talk about my awful secret?" Okay, I wanted to build lecture. I wanted to give lectures. But the thing was that I wasn't even able to communicate with one person. I was really like scared of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really hard for me. But I wanted to build a lecture. So I went to someone who builds lectures. And I think she saw that I wasn't ready. So she sent me to a therapist that she knew. And I told her, listen, I went to like 4 or 5 therapists before, and it didn't help me. I'm just helpless. I'm impulsive. I'm stupid. There's nothing we can do about it. And she said, you know what? Just 1 session.
Yeah.
Go for 1 session. And then I went to this crazy lady called Miri, her name. And I went out of this 1 session. I called Gal, my husband, and I said to him, I am shocked. Life was so simple, and nobody told me. Yeah, it was a life-changing moment for me. And then
What do you mean, so simple? What was that takeaway? I want to know.
This crazy, awesome lady just explained to me, this is the behavior that you have. This is where it came from, and this is the way to solve it. And I was like, no way. I thought I was helpless. What the fuck? And then it was so exciting for me, because then I understood that I can fix things that I don't like about myself or I don't like about my life. And then I understood that I am the creator of my own life. And it was crazy for me to understand it. It was on February 2021. It wasn't long ago, right?
Oh, wow. That is very recent. Yeah.
And then and I started like going to therapy once every 2 weeks, let's say. And I was just evolving. I just understood things. It was really easy, and I very practical. I'm a great soldier. So she gave me the instructions, and I went and I did it. And then I remember that one of the therapists I went to before this therapist, Miri, told me that I should forgive my father for what he has done. And I was mad, Kaya. I was really mad.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I thought, were you there every night when I was abused and cried for help? Were you there? How come you tell me to forgive? Yeah. I was mad. But I went out of the room and I thought to myself, whoa, what is this forgiveness thing? Sounds interesting. And then I started talking to my therapist, Miri, and I told her that this rude person told me to forgive my father. And she said, where is your father today? And I said, he passed away from cancer 10 years ago almost. And she said, you know, something interesting? I've heard that men that die from cancer early probably had a big secret they never told anyone. I looked at her and I was like, what did you say? What did you say now? I was shocked because I had a new feeling inside of myself. I had compassion. All of a sudden, I didn't feel sorry for him. It didn't was the excuse for what he does, or what he did. I was like, maybe he was abused as well. And then I started investigating my family past. And I found out about the generational trauma of my family. And I was shocked. And then, back then, I didn't understand why life was so hard for me. Why do I carry my father, the trauma, everything on my back with chains? Everywhere I go, every person I meet, this trauma, my father control me, and I cannot control my life because this thing is controlling me.
Yeah.
And then I started investigating the forgiveness thing. I wrote on Google, how to forgive. Okay, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they are all saying forgive and you will feel great. How the hell do you forgive?
That's right. How do you do that?
How do you do it? And I was looking for a way to understand, how do you forgive? And I was looking and looking and looking, and no one gives instructions on how to forgive. And then I understood the most important thing, it's not about the how, it's why. Why to forgive? Why would I forgive someone who did such an awful thing to me? And then I understood that in order to live my life, decide for myself, and be out of these chains, I need to forgive. And it was so, I was so mad about it, because I wanted to be mad. This is not okay what he did to me, right? It's not okay. And I want to be mad. And I want God to punish him. And I knew what I deserved. I deserved an apology. And if not an apology, just, someone will say to me, okay, you were hurt, but nobody believed me in the family, although they knew.
Yeah.
I knew what I deserved, and I was waiting for the apology to come. But my father couldn't make the apology anymore, right? He's dead.
Yeah.
My siblings, they probably never apologize for anything. They deny everything. And my mother, she's like on pills, on drugs for painkillers. So yeah, she probably never apologized. And then I understood an important thing. My peace is more important than what I deserve.
That resentment. Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to forgive, because being a victim gave me a lot of things. I could sit down at home, cry about my life, and be miserable, and just blame someone for my awful life. But if I forgive, I have to take responsibility. And this is so tiring. For real. Like, do I have to get up every day and choose to go to gym and choose to do good? I have someone to blame. It's easier.
It's easier. Victimhood is just very cozy.
It's very easier, cozy. I could just cry and say, I'm a victim. You all need to feel sorry for me. But then I decided I don't want to live my life anymore this way. I gave this trauma 26 years of my life, and this was enough. I wanted to be in a good relationship. I wanted to know how I set boundaries. I wanted to know how can I live in peace. And I decided it was enough. 26 years is a lot. I want to be able to decide for myself. I don't want to let my moods, my trauma, my hormones control me. I want to control my life. I want to make them better. And then I just started, like, day by day, do things that are good for my mental health. And this is really hard, because I wake up with an holocaust inside my head. I just want to stay in bed, cry for the things that I went through, ask God, why me? Why me? I'm not strong enough to deal with it. But I had to get up every morning and decide that even if I feel bad, I go to the gym, I listen to music, I do things that are good for my mental health. Back then, I didn't know how to communicate, and I was a big liar, as I told you. So the first year of the relationship was really, really hard, because Gal, my husband, he's like not a big talker. Does it make sense? Yeah. And I love to talk. I love to scream and yell, and I love the drama. And when we fought, I yelled at him, and I cursed him. And one time he was like, we are not cursing anymore. We are not yelling anymore. And he's like very calm. He's like really calm. And I was like, you don't tell me how to leave. I want to scream and I want to yell. And he was like, we are not doing this anymore. This is our red lines. We are not crossing them. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm leaving. And he said, and I expected him, to go after me, right? Mm-hmm. To run after me and say, no, Orin, please don't leave. And he sat down on the couch and he told me, you can go. You can go. I'm not leaving you, but I won't chase you. I won't chase you. I'm here. If you want to talk, if you want to solve things, let's do it. But I'm not chasing you, and I'm not giving hands for like this behavior. And I was really, really mad because I wanted the drama. I didn't understand how can you solve things just by talking. No, we need a drama.
Yeah.
We need to yell and to you need to catch me and not let me go. But God was important for me. And I was like, you know what, I'm sitting down, let's try to solve it. And then we learned our communication. And then we learned how to solve things. And he's the love that healed my heart. When I got married to him like almost a year ago, and on the chuppah, it's like when you walk to like the ceremony.
Yeah.
I read to him like a letter that I wrote, and I said, "You are the gift I got from God and the soul of my father, so I can heal my life and move on." And he, first of all, he's an awesome guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's amazing.
Sounds
I love
like
him
it,
so
for
much.
sure.
Yeah. And then, day by day, I should have understood how I forgive my father for what he did. And then I understood that every abuser was a kid that was abused and didn't take care of it. And then I started like talking about it more freely. And I saw people all of a sudden said, I went through sexual abuse in my home as well. And I was shocked. This is so common. And nobody talks about it because it's filled with guilt and shame. And who would want to marry a girl that was sexually abused by her father? That's what I thought. And then I was, wait. If so many people went through so many things and nobody speak about it, maybe I should. And it was a scary thing to do.
Sure.
And then I started like, all these kind of methods of therapy that I loved. And I did all the therapy sessions that I did was without medicines at all. Nothing. Nada. Mama. And Hebrew again. Sorry. No medicines, nothing. I just went through the pain and I looked the pain in the eyes, and there were days that I was devastated and I cried all day and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I decided that no matter what, I don't take pills or medicines or nothing. I just go through it. And day by day, it just became so much better. And people a lot of the times like listen to me and say, "Oh, so it's easy. You just became happy all of a sudden, and then you had your awesome husband. So it was easy." No, I was the one to make all the choices. Yeah. I was the one who chose every day to go to workout, go to therapy, go to do things that are really matter to me. And then I understood the amazing, simple thing that no one tells us. The peace is within ourselves.
That's right. Resentment is cancer. Do you know he passed away, a guy named Dr. Wayne Dyer? Have you ever heard of him? Awesome guy. God bless his soul. He said he had resentment to his own father too, where he left his mother and he grew up in foster homes. And he said this thing that I love, this quote. He said, "Resentment knocked on the door. Love answered. Nobody was there." It's amazing. It's amazing. So love overcomes everything. He just said he hated his father. He never met him. He would go to his grave, like his grave, and just cuss at him all the time. Years after the guy passed. And then he learned that. So he went back to his father's grave and forgave him. And ever since then, he said his life was never the same again.
This is amazing. I'll tell you what. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people want to forgive for the wrong reasons. And let me explain. Yeah. When my father passed away, just a second before the monitor stopped, I was looking on his body and I was like, "I forgive you." I was only 19. And I thought I forgave. So why am I still mad? Why do I carry my dad on my back with chains everywhere I go? And then I realized I wanted to forgive immediately because first, I didn't want to go through this healing journey. I didn't want to go back to all the awful things that I went through. Second of all, I wanted to be a good person. I wanted to be a good heart person. Yeah. So I wanted to forgive immediately. So good people forgive immediately, right? That's what I thought. And I wanted to be a good person. Mm. And third, people around me wanted me to forgive so they can move on with their life. It has nothing to do with me. They just wanted to feel okay with themselves to move on. And for these 3 reasons, I thought I forgave, but I did not. I was mad. And you know what? You cannot forgive the action. The action was already done.
Yeah.
If you forgive the action, it should have, be undone, right? No. You cannot forgive the action. The action was already done. You forgive the damage that these awful occasions caused you. And in order to forgive, you should go through the anger, the sadness, all these kind of hard emotions, and then you should put your sleeves up, show me your scars, show me that you understand what are these scars, then you can forgive.
Yeah.
You need to forgive the damage that it caused you. The damage that it caused me, I was in a bad career relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I was on bad romantic relationships. I was miserable. I had to forgive my father for the years that I hated myself, that I felt ashamed and guilt. This is what I needed to forgive. I couldn't forgive the action. The action was already done.
Yeah. So that very, very true. Actually, a very good way to look at it too. So after you forgave your father, you're in this good relationship. You got that solved too. Everything is going good. You're famous now and did the Survivor thing. After Survivor thing, right? This whole thing happened because you had that down moment. After you forgave your father, did you see improvement in your life and things change for you?
First of all, forgiveness is a choice we make every day.
Yeah.
I choose to forgive my father every day, and I choose to forgive all the people that hurt me every single day.
Gotcha.
I don't hold anger inside of me for no one. And if anger comes, and it's okay if it comes, I look at it, I try to understand what does it want to tell me, and then I don't work with my anger. It can come, sadness can come. I'm able to feel all the hard emotions that I feel, but I don't do things with these emotions.
You know how to control them now.
It's not about control, you know? Because control is it's an illusion. We don't control anything. But the only thing we can control is our choice. It's I chose to go on the national news in Israel and to say I was abused by my father with my face on it. And I choose to put myself out there for others. And I choose every single day to go to the gym, to do things that makes me happy. And I choose every day not to to fight with people for things that they do. And I think that people can only meet you as deep as they made themselves. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because if I see your action and you hurt me, for example, and I want to know why. Why did you hurt me? I'm so mad. Why did you hurt me? You probably won't have the answer, not you, in general.
Yeah, of course.
People will probably won't have the answer because they don't understand themselves. Today I can tell you that everything that I've done, why did I do it, where did it came from, and why am I never repeating it again? And now that when someone hurt me, for example, not paying me the money that I need to get from him, I'm not mad anymore. I'm not mad. Because I understand that this person probably didn't solve his own shit, his own trauma. And he's controlled by his moods, by his trauma, by everything else. And I refuse to be controlled by this human. If this human is not paying me the money I deserve, and I choose to fight him and to do stuff, I let him control me. No.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay me the money with a smile, don't fucking pay me.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it, and that gets you out of that victimhood for sure. So, and that brings me to obviously October 7th was horrible. What happened, and things are still kind of rough over there. And you still live in Israel.
I do. I will always.
Okay, you live in Israel, and you activated yourself back in the reserve duty. How do you feel about that, and what's going on there now?
How do I feel? Thank you for asking.
Of course.
For real. So on October 6th, I was with friends. It was Friday. It was so much fun. We hanged out. They came to our home, and we did. We had some food, and it was fun. And we went to sleep at 4:30 a.m. 2 hours later, sirens went on. My husband wakes me up, and it was 6:30. And I'm like, sirens? All of a sudden? No, something is happening. No way it's happening like this. Then we started getting all these videos of the terrorists in Sderot, in Ofakim, in Re'im. And it felt like nightmare. It felt like a whole nightmare. I was devastated. I was shocked. Everyone was just shocked. Like, we thought that we have the strongest military in the world. What's going on? How come? And then when we were trying to understand what's going on, and I already like wore my uniform and I was ready to go out to fight, and I called my commander and I was like, are we going to fight now or what? He was like, wait for a command. And I was like, so I was filming a video for to speak about what's going on in Israel after like 2 or 3 hours, and it went like a few
minutes. Which platform was that on?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. And it went like 3 million views. It's crazy. And I started explaining that we are experiencing something that never happened before. And we didn't even understand how bad it is. And then people started like going crazy. Oh my God, my friend is in the Nova Festival. My friend is here. My friend is there. And it was so scary. It was so scary. It was unimaginable. And we saw these bloodthirsty fucking animals coming into our homes. And we were ready. My husband and I were fucking ready. We loaded all magazines. And we were fucking ready to fuck them up if they're coming. And they didn't arrive to Rishon. The most north that I could get was Ashkelon. And it's like half an hour from my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
They came as close as half hour from your home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking crazy. And we were fucking ready. And the crazy thing is that in Israel, nobody has almost firearms.
Yeah, I heard about that, and that was
fucking
appalling.
Strict. And all the people in Kfar Aza, in Re'im, in Kibbutz Be'erin, all these kind of places in the south, they didn't have a way to protect themselves.
They just sat there sitting duck getting killed.
Just imagine
Yeah.
seeing your wife being raped in front of you. Your children are being fucking murdered and you cannot do nothing. I was so fucking mad. I was so fucking mad for my people. I was devastated. I was fucking crying this whole day. And I was waiting for a command. The day after I went to the south, it was October 8th. I was waiting for a command to where to go. So so in the meantime, I just went south to bring food and stuff for our soldiers who are fighting. And then on October 9th, I recruit. I went to the north, to Lebanon, with my unit, search and rescue unit. And we were there for almost 70 days. And it's not over yet. It's not fucking over.
Oh, it's not, and it's and I don't
just yesterday, 21 soldiers were killed in this fucking place called Gaza, and it's so emotional for me. And it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. So the fucking world won't see what's going on. People in the West don't understand that once they're done with us, they're coming to you. They're coming to the United States, and they're coming to Europe, and they will do the exact same thing they've done to us. And people don't get it. The most ridiculous movement is Queer for Palestine. They don't understand. If a gay person will go inside Gaza, they will be tortured to death. Torture. And they don't understand. No, they're minority. They're minority. They are fucking terrorists. They are fucking terrorists. We want to live in peace. We offered over decades so many things for them to live in peace. This is not about the land. It's about us being Jewish. And it doesn't matter if it's Germany, and it doesn't matter if it's Israel, and it doesn't matter where we are in this world. It's not about a fucking land. It's about us being Jewish and the fact that they want to make the whole world Sharia laws. And if they make the whole world Sharia laws, we better fucking die. We better fucking die because they are bloodthirsty fucking animals.
So how does it end?
I have no idea. To be honest, it's so sad for me because I wanted peace. Kai, I swear to God, I wanted peace. I was looking for ways to to advocate for peace. And I thought that there were innocent people in fucking Gaza. None of them is innocent. And if the innocents aren't fucking talking and doing something against Hamas, they are not innocent. And if citizens taking girls, our girls, and them, they are not fucking innocent. And they should be fucking dead. And we have 136 people in captivity. Our girls are pregnant from Hamas terrorists. Where the fuck is Me Too movement? This fucking... I'm sorry, it makes me so mad.
No, I understand. And yeah, you're right. There's still a lot of hostages there, and those reports are coming out.
You know, the world, some of the people in this world denied what happened on October 7th.
It's still being denied by some people.
You know what the crazy thing is? Hamas terrorists themselves took videos of them raping our girls, torturing our kids, killing our men, and the world is like, no, we're denying it. And you know how hard it is for as a victim to hear that somebody denies the of my sisters?
Yeah.
I cannot explain to you. And Me Too movement, the Israeli women stood up for you. We did everything for this movement. We believed it was for all women, but it's not. It's not for all women. Me Too, unless you're a Jew.
It's another political movement over there. But let me ask you something about the Gaza thing. There's about 2 million people live there. It's a very condensed, highly densely populated location. And you said nobody's innocent there. And I want to know, you know that stuff better than me. And I want viewers to obviously hear from firsthand from an Israeli IDF soldier who was there when this horrible attack happened. Those people, you know, they're not speaking against Hamas. Obviously, 60% of them voted for Hamas to be in charge. That means 40% didn't. So do you think some of those folks in Gaza, that they're not able to really speak against Hamas because Hamas would retaliate against them?
What is retaliate?
Retaliate isn't they go after them. Like if they speak against Hamas, Hamas like, oh, you're speaking against us, we'll come kill you. So people are scared and they're not able to go against Hamas. Do you think that's happening in there too?
Absolutely. You know why? You know what? I do think that there are miserable people over there that really want to live, you know, quiet life, normal life. But if you don't stand against them, what can we do? I really ask you, if Hamas is hiding in hospitals, in kindergartens, in schools, what the fuck can we do? Are they like, we can't touch them because they're in hospitals? It means that they can us, torture us, kill us, and we'll do nothing because they're inside hospitals? Well,
Hamas is obviously a very cowardly organization that, from what I'm seeing, I've been following this very closely, by the way. I'm very into politics. And going into the hospitals and hiding behind civilians where you know that Israel or whoever is not going to attack because there's civilians. Or if they do, civilians are going to be killed, so you look bad.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the way I see it, the way I've been looking at it, there's those Palestinian folks, I don't know who they are. There's just, some of them are just captive there.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go? They can't go to Egypt.
Why is Egypt not opening the border for them?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
Let's talk about the whole Muslim Brotherhood. Them. Yeah. But let's talk about the whole Muslim Brotherhood thing. Egypt is not letting those other Palestinian Gaza. Yeah. It's what a horrible. And nobody's saying anything about Egypt.
And to be honest, I am sad and sorry for the innocent people that lost their life there. I am. And it's not like politically correct for me to say that I am sorry for the Palestinian people that were killed there. Right? I am sorry for the poor Palestinian people that were killed there. But I choose my people and I choose my life over theirs because they don't push Hamas away. And Hamas, they will kill them either fucking way. When the Israeli Air Force like bombs a hospital or bombs something, they check that there are no innocent civilians over there. And if they see one kid, they won't shoot. They won't fucking shoot. Why? Because we love life. They bless the death. We love life and we want to live in peace. We just gave them the option for a ceasefire for 2 months and to get all our hostages back. They refused. Why?
What do they say?
No. No.
So what would you like to say, one, for folks in Gaza, and what would you like to say Israeli folks when it comes to this conflict? Let's start with Palestinians.
First of all, I will say that I am mad. Okay? I am very mad. And I believe that normal people who will listen to this podcast will understand that I am very mad and sad and in pain over my people and what we've been through. And they will understand my anger. When I take a deep breath and I relax for one moment, I do understand that there are minority of people that are innocent there. Okay? I do understand it. This is a fucking awful war that is being led by awful governments. I fucking hate my government. I fucking hate their government. I fucking hate governments. Power to the people. This is what I want to put out. This is what we need. What I have to say to the people in Gaza, if you really want peace, and if you really want to live quiet, normal life, I am sorry that you are going through the things that you are going through right now. This is awful. And no kid in the world should grow up in this way. Not Palestinian and not Jew and not no one. Kids should be like playing with each other and doing nice stuff that kids do. They don't need to grow up in fucking war under bombs. No one deserves to live this way. No one. This is fucking painful. I see the kids in Israel. We all have PTSD. All of us. We are fucking used to get up in the morning with sirens. We fucking...
That's horrible.
That's crazy. Like, if you hear, like, rockets in the sky, it's like, oh, okay. We became numb.
That's normal life. Yeah, it's crazy.
This is awful. This is fucking awful. And for my Israeli folks, I love these people more than anything. And I gotta explain this. The Jewish people, it's like a huge family. So when we hear another soldier that was killed, and we hear another person that was killed, our heart is broken, like, personally. It's crazy. Yesterday, like 2 days ago, there was the range day of SHOT Show. I was waiting for it like whole year. I was so excited to go. And then I heard that 3 soldiers were killed, and I couldn't do it. I was sitting on the ground. I was like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? I was on 70 days of reserve duty. And then I went on a speaking tour in the United States for Israel. And SHOT Show was the first thing I've done for myself. And it feels awful. This is why I'm going around with my flag. This is why I'm talking with people about Israel. This is why I'm here talking about Israel, because people are being killed for protecting us.
Yeah, and I really do hope that this conflict gets resolved in the best way possible sometime soon.
I
don't know.
Suffering stops. I don't know what is the best way possible.
Nobody knows. It seems like everybody's got their own opinions and stuff, but I just can hope whatever that best solution is, and I don't know, and you don't know, that happens.
Let's pray Messiah will come as fast as he can.
Yeah. And now I want to move on to real quick your passion, firearms.
Oh, I love it.
Before we shut it down. So you're now in the whole firearm industry.
Yeah.
You like doing videos. Just tell us, what kind of videos do you do, on what platforms, and do you work with anybody? Just tell us.
Okay, so I started like working with gun companies, I think 2016, 17. So what I used to do was like, shooting and pew, pew, pew. And it was very superficial. But now I do like military stuff. I show like IDF methods and cool stuff. And I do have my podcast.
What's your podcast? What's the name? What platform?
It's called Warrior Spirit Podcast. For now, it's only in Hebrew. And it's about mental health and inspiring stories. but I do want to expand it to English. You see, I need to work on my English, and then maybe I can do it.
I heard.
You said that my English is great, but I feel insecure about it still.
No, it's really good. I mean, look at us talking about you. You've told me your entire story perfectly.
Wow, that's
clearly.
right.
I know.
That's right. I give lectures if
Yes.
you want me, guys.
There you go. Exactly. You know how to get a hold of you, right? But no, there's like, I heard there's AI systems out there that will take your actual videos.
Really?
Yeah, and they'll translate into English as if you are speaking English. Perhaps that's something to look into. I'm not sure how expensive that is, but those videos could be translated into English, and boom, you got that. But anyways, that's a separate thing.
Yeah, the thing that I love about firearms is that it really like saved my life, for real. Because think about it. I came from an abusive home, and the people that should have like protected me from this whole world hurt me. And this was the way like my brain wanted somehow to defend itself. And then, you know, it was like the place for me to feel good, the firearms. Yeah. I did make peace with my dead father, and I did make peace with my living mother, and we are going to therapy together, and we have an amazing journey together. And then firearms became different for me. It wasn't about like, I'm scared, I need to defend myself. I do need to defend myself, absolutely, because I live in Israel. But but now I just love to shoot competitions in Israel, and I would love to do it in the United States as well. Just didn't happen yet. And
I'm sure. Aren't you doing stuff with Taryn Butler?
Yeah, but I didn't shoot in the United States yet. You know, it's crazy, right?
Well, that's next. It's gonna happen.
I have the Sand Viper from him, and I have the Combat Master John Wick 3, and he sponsors me for the shooting competitions in Israel. I'm his only sponsored shooter in Israel, so it's very flattering.
Awesome. Taryn is an awesome guy. I love that guy.
He is awesome, for real. He is such a good heart.
Generous, beautiful man. Yeah.
So I work with them, and I work with Ecutech, the bipods. They have awesome bipods.
They have great bipods.
You know them?
Yes. Oh, we have used their products on multiple contests,
awesome.
Let's just say. Yeah.
And yeah, this is it. Now I like to give lectures more, and I like to do my podcast, and I host workshops, like healing workshops for soldiers now.
Okay.
In Israel. In Israel, yeah.
All right.
So I like to help them in... How can I explain? Like, I do it voluntarily. Is it correct?
Voluntarily, exactly.
Voluntarily. I do workshops with a few therapists, and we help the people that were hurt in October 7th. And we see miracles. We see miracles. You see, like, people that come inside and they're scared and so exhausted. And then they go out and they feel better and they understand that they are okay. And so I really like the mental health thing now. Yeah.
Well, of course.
And I think that this is what America needs, for real. I think that America needs more truth. And I think that the problem, let's say, of mass shooting, it's not about the firearms. Firearms are great, and I think that you should protect your Second Amendment at all cost, for real. Yeah. You saw what happened in October 7th.
That's exactly right.
Yep. So protect your Second Amendment no matter what. I think that people need to put more focus on mental health in the United States. There is like crazy problems in the United States of mental health, and I think this is what needs to be solved. Like, if the government wants to help in the mental health side. Don't take away the guns.
It's so funny. It's a lot of mental health facilities are just shutting down. Oh, we don't have budgeting and this and that, but yet we're spending $200 billion in Ukraine, but that's a different story.
What?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, seriously, mental health is a great point. You know, firearms are a tool, right?
Exactly.
And for the actions of few, they want to go ahead and get rid of guns from everybody else and disarm good folks like you and me. I'm with you, absolutely.
I just think that they want you helpless.
That's right, because then you can control a lot better that way. Man, I want to talk to you a lot more. Like, we could go hours and hours, but I don't want to take too much of your time. If you want to, before we shut it down, tell people how people can get a hold of you, if you have a charity, if you have a website, anything like that about that.
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Just type in ORIN_JULIE, and Instagram, of course, shadow bans me, so you have to type in the whole name.
Thing, Orin Julie, yes.
I will start a charity for the IDF soldiers that I do. I still work on it, And yeah, this is it. I just want this world to become a better place for our kids to grow up. And I love America. I love the Second Amendment. And thank you so much for having me. You're such an amazing person, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad we met.
Thank you. So likewise, I'm sure we've started a hopefully lifelong friendships. You're awesome
Yes, I
yourself
love
too.
you.
So thanks for taking the time for coming over here and sharing your beautiful story with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.